Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Tuesday afternoon, hoping all is well with you. I'm on my way home, so you might hear some car noises in the background, so do apologize for that. Today it is hot, very hot, and I love the heat. But it got me thinking about something Kratom related. Let's see if I can do this in between cars here. Okay, so, vroom vroom. There is this thought that comes to mind today. When I take Kratom and it's super, super hot, or at least, you know, fairly hot, it's 95 degrees, I'd call that hot. There's a different kind of Kratom experience that I'm in store for. And I don't know exactly whether it's me that's causing the experience to be different, or if the heat affects the Kratom before I take it, because it's like, you know, hotter. But probably I would assume the former more than the latter. So I think that more likely than not, although I don't know for sure, that most of the change in effects is going to be just the fact that my body's dealing with heat that day. So when I take Kratom on a day like today, what I find is no matter what kind of Kratom I take, and no matter what kind of experience I'm going for, it's always going to be more dragged out, slower, sluggish. That might seem kind of obvious given the fact that we're talking about a hot day. You know, hot days make you slow down, so that would make sense. But, like, when I take Indo White, no matter what the circumstance, no matter what, like, you know, the environment where I am, in terms of where I am, I mean, I usually have the same experience, and with the heat, it still is very helpful, and I still think that Indo White's my favorite go-to type of Kratom. But the thing that's different is, on a day like today when I take it, it basically makes the energy component very much apparent, because all of the rest of me is so sluggish and slow, and it kind of picks up on the sluggish and slowishness. I like that word, slowishness. Picks up on the sluggish and slowishness of the day and how my body's feeling, so that what ends up happening is I end up getting this energy from the Indo White, kind of like targeted, but more so than usual. Like, it almost isolates it. It's almost like taking Kratom normally, taking Indo White Kratom for me, I get a wide range of experiences that kind of all hover around this central experience and feeling that I get, an effect of, like, calmness, energy, motivation, just like a sense of well-being and being content in the moment. All that, it's kind of all wrapped into a central area. If you want to think of this as like shining a flashlight, there's a beam of light, but right, like you can see where the flashlight's hitting the most in the middle, but then there's also like the beam kind of dissipates as you go further out from the center. And so it's not like when you shine a flashlight, you're just seeing one specific single beam, unless it's like a laser. You're gonna see like a cone shape that goes out and gets weaker as you go out from the center. So that's kind of like my Kratom experience. Now, that's normal for me. But when it's really hot, it's like that extra component, the outside part, the effects and the feelings and the things that are like the outside cone part of the flashlight beam are like gone. Or not gone, they are faded into the background more or less. So that what I end up experiencing is a very acute sense, like a very specific targeted sense of like the energy, the main component, like the energy and the sense of well-being. I guess those two things kind of tie together when it comes to Indo White for me. And I kind of notice those very strongly, and everything else seems like it's not like it's there. It's like not the cone around the flashlight beam. So it just ends up becoming very focused. The experience focuses and becomes very much all about the energy component for the most part. And the rest of me is sluggish, and it's like the sluggishness and slowishness, as I'm now terming it. The sluggish and slowishness kind of takes over that extra outside of the flashlight beam part of it and makes it fade away. So I thought that was interesting. Now, that's the first part of my thoughts here that I wanted to share. But the second part is, as I was thinking through this and about to hit record, I stumbled upon another thought within my own head. And that thought goes something like this. If everybody is reporting their own experiences when it comes to Kratom, like they're reporting on Reddit, for instance, or whatever they're saying, they're online and they're saying, oh, this is my experience when it comes to taking this type of Kratom, and I love this one, or taking that type, and I love that one, or I hate this one makes me feel this way or that way. We all are living in different places. And if we're all living in different places, and if the weather and the general climate throughout the year differs greatly, then aren't our experiences, and if the Kratom experiences are affected by the weather in the way that I'm explaining mine is, or my experiences are, then doesn't that mean that all of our self-reported experiences that we're sharing out there need to have an additional little component to share, which says it's like, I live in a place that's like hot, or I live in a place that's super humid or super dry? Because it's not just what our bodies do when it comes to like reacting to the weather and reacting to the Kratom experience. It's like also the Kratom is sitting there. That component is there. So it's like the Kratom, you order it, no matter where you are, you order the Kratom, it comes to you. The route that it takes, the amount of time that it takes to get there, that's all there. But then also the heat, the humidity, the dryness, how many days in a row does it linger in that kind of environment? And does that affect the Kratom before you even take it, let alone your own experience in your body and how your body reacts to that sort of thing? Then there's the other component of, like, I live in New England. New England weather is all over the place. Like, I think Mark Twain said something like along the lines of, if you don't like the weather in New England, wait 5 minutes. So then it's like, of course I'm not as good about, like, not good, but my body isn't regulated. It doesn't have a basis or a regulation. It's stasis. Wow, I am butchering this sentence, you guys. Let me try and reframe this. This is a raw episode. My body doesn't have like a baseline that is very flexible when it comes to different weather, because the weather differs so greatly up here. So like, we'll have a really cold day and then next day it'll be 40 degrees warmer sometimes. I've experienced that before. So it's like, if you live in the Southwest, you experience that too. But you experience that all the time, and I don't. Because in the Southwest, it gets pretty cold at night, it gets pretty warm during the day. Well, up here, it's not supposed to do that. I guess there's not supposed to or not supposed to, but it certainly affects everything for me. So if you live in one place where the weather changes a lot versus another where it doesn't, that's also something. Anyway, all this in saying that if someone's saying that type of Kratom never worked for me and someone else says that one always worked for me, and they both are trying to take it for the same purpose, and they live in different places, is it possible that the weather has something to do with it? Or the climate, or the amount of time the Kratom was stored in that weather or climate? That's kind of what I'm thinking about. So anyway, there you go. The wind is really whipping up here, because I'm just like chugging along on the highway here. Don't worry, I mean, this is like a hands-free episode. I don't have to be distracted while talking. So you might as well just be in the car with me, which you kind of are. But anyway, I don't know. That's kind of the wrap-up. That's basically everything I was thinking about. I think it makes sense, but it's pretty easy to say that when I'm focused also on mainly just driving safely. and I'm a rambler to begin with when it comes to this show. But you all know that. All right, thanks so much for listening, everybody. We will be back tomorrow, and I sure appreciate you tuning in. Talk to you all then. Bye-bye.